Then come to the A-level examination. Basically, they are checking PHP knowledge and Python knowledge and also SQL knowledge. But rarely they check the combination part. Rarely they check the combination part means like Python in combination with SQL or PHP in combination with SQL. They will rarely check that. But anyway, since it is there in the syllabus, we have to go through that part as well. So what I'm going to do today, and in today's lesson, I'm going to connect to my local server, and through the local server, so I'll demonstrate that how we can use, sorry, not that. I'll demonstrate how we can use, it works. I think the port has a problem. 8888 is the port. Yes, that's that. The MAMP piece. In your version, you have SAMP, and similar to this, you have to turn on the SAMP. Or WAMP, if you have Windows, Apache, MySQL, PHP, just use WAMP. And just turn on the servers. You need Apache server and MySQL server to do this task, right? So if you install, so we have done that tutorial before. We have done how to install SAMP or how to install WAMP. That tutorial we went through that tutorial before. So you can just watch that video if you miss, and hopefully you have that in your computer. So now what you have to do is actually everything that we write related to PHP, you know, it should be hosted in a server, either a local server or a remote server. Otherwise, PHP codes won't work. PHP code will work in a remote server or local server. So here I'm using my local server, and I'm showing PHP MyAdmins, which is the GUI tool which we use to write SQL queries over there because it's editable. But remember that in your examination, they won't ask questions from this GUI environment. They will only ask the SQL queries, right? Okay, this is the database that we have created. I think this is DB school, as I remember. Yes, there are 4 tables. Let's go to one specific table, and you can see the data when you browse it. The query will be automatically written. Here you can see select all from student. But the thing is, so don't actually go through this GUI tools and try to remember that. So always try to write your own SQL queries and understand this. Select asterisk from student. When you run the query, you can see the result. Here, select asterisk from student, everything from the student will come. So these things we have done. I'm just recalling because we have just done the previous year. Sometimes you might not remember the things that we have discussed. That's why I'm recalling that. Okay, let's say you don't want to select everything. You need the student first name and last name only. Then you can say select FN, LN from student, and the query will result the first name and last name only. So this part we have already done. Okay, now the connection part. So a little bit tough. Actually, it's not tough. So what I can tell about that? So you need to be concerned. Each letter matters. Each comma, semicolon. If you have an error, so it will be difficult to identify, because now we are going to connect 2 platforms. SQL is the database platform, and the other hand, the PHP is the server-side scripting language. Python can be used in client-side and server-side both. Right? Both. Let's go and write this query. Queries are simple, right? Queries are pretty simple. It's not hard. Okay, I'm going to write a small file here. This is my initial HTML file, actually PHP file. I'm going to write that as an HTML form. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to insert data into this. Let's select simple table. Class table. You think about the class table it has a foreign key. It's difficult to enter there. Let's go to the subject table. It has only the primary key, and then it's a very simple table. 3 fields. You can see subject ID, subject name, and subject medium. Only 3 fields. Subject ID, subject name, subject medium in the TBL subject. So what I'm going to do here, actually subject ID is also auto implemented. We don't want to worry about that. So we'll be auto implemented. So only need to insert subject name and the medium, both are variable characters or the strings. Vacha 30, Vacha 10. Okay, let's plan for that. In this HTML, I'm going to write, you can do this with me. Don't take much time. Now we have done this several times. We have the practice and use the practice to write code faster way. Now HTML, under that the head section, and under that I'm going to finish the head section and include a title, and this title says, actually these parts you don't have any notes, right? These notes are the codes. So my preference is you to write live notes. While I'm doing that, you can write the notes in your notepad and test this. After the test, after a successful test, you can write that in your book. After it's working only, write that in your book. Otherwise, refer to the video and write from the video. Okay, title is enter or insert, say, add classes. Subjects, what is that? Yeah, it's the table is subject, add subjects. So when you want to add subjects and head section is over, let's have the body section. And again, the body section, I'm going to have an HTML form here. Form name is, let's say, FRM subject, writing a short name. Method is, it's okay to send the subject using get method. Get is sending the data to URL. I hope you can remember that. More secure, what is the most secure way? Is it get or some other thing? Get or some other thing? What is secure method? I think you can remember the form methods, right? There are two methods. What are the two methods, Netuli?
Get and post.
Get and post. Which is secure?
Post.
Is there data limit in post?
Yes.
In post, no data limit, right? In get, you have data limit. Get a data limit at URL has a limited number of characters, right? But post method, you can send any amount of data. So which is sending data through URL?
Get method.
Get method. Okay, you can remember the stuff. That's good. And which is good for sending passwords?
Post method.
Okay, which is faster?
Get method.
Get method. Exactly. Good. So I'm happy that you can remember the previous stuff. Good. Okay, then form name is FRM subject and the method is get and action. So let's say action is add subject dot PHP. Add subjects dot PHP, and that is the file which is going to process this data, and I'm going to close the form there. So the simplest way is write these things in the paragraph for separating purpose. Let's say subject name, and I need a field to enter that. I'm typing an input type. I hope you can remember the types of input. Text is the best for this. Input type text, and I need to type get place holder is subject name, and then name is, let's say name is S name. That is good. Sensitive. S name is name. Closing the input and closing the paragraph here. Then in addition to the subject, I need to enter the subject medium, S medium. To do that, I'm using this because there are two mediums, S medium. Because there are two mediums, I think better we use English. Input type radio. Name is medium, and then the value, let's say English. How did we enter the values there? EM or Yeah, English, Sinhala. That's how we have entered values. Okay. English. I need another radio button. Let's copy and paste it again. This is for Sinhala. As medium, the value is Sinhala. Note that the name given is same for both radio buttons. If you given, okay, S medium 1, S medium 2, something like this. So let me save the table. I'm going to save the table in my server, local server basically. As I'm using Mac operating system, my local server resides inside MAMP folder in application. So in your case, it is SAM folder in C drive. In your case, it is SAM folder in C drive. In my case, I have to go to the MAMP folder. There I have htdocs. There is the main folder, and I would like to add. A new folder for data. Database or DB. Let's add a new database, new folder. Inside that, I'm going to save this file index.html for the moment. Let's use PHP. Even though I don't have any PHP codes, I prefer to use PHP because in future I can add PHP codes. Because if there is a single PHP code එකක් හරි තියෙනවා නම් your file should be saved as .php. PHP සම්බන්ධ code මොනවා හරි තියෙනවා. දැන් මේ තියෙන එක නම් ඕන නැහැ. මේක PHP මොකුත් නැහැ. හැබැයි PHP සම්බන්ධ මොනවා හරි තියෙනවා නම් then you have to save your file as index, not any name, but .php is must. If you are not using PHP, නිකන් මේක HTML කියලා save කරා කියමුකෝ. මේ case එකේදී මේක වැඩ කරනවා. Because we don't have any HTML here, any PHP here. So in this case, this will work. මේ වෙලාවේ වැඩ කරනවා. හැබැයි HTML කියලා save කරලා ඒක ඇතුලේ PHP code ලිව්වොත් ඒවා පෙන්වන්න ගන්න. මම ඔයාලට පෙන්න උදාහරණයක්ම කරලා පෙන්නන්නම් ඔළුවට යනවනේ එතකොට. So let's say index.html. In this case, no matter, right? Because everything is there is HTML, so doesn't matter. I can just go to my I have to call this, right? I can't double click. That is another thing. The already ඊළඟට වෙන ප්‍රශ්නේ. ඔය ෆයිල් එක save කරලා ඔකට double click කරන්න එපා. I have to access that using the server. Localhost and db is my folder. And you can see subject name English Sinhala, it is loaded, right? මේ දැක්කනේ. මේවා දෙකක් දුන්නොත් දෙකම select කරන්න පුළුවන්. One can select Sinhala and English, then it's not moving even. So that is the error that I said here. ඒකට හින්දා තමයි අපි මේක එකක් දාන්නේ. මේකට ලකුණු හම්බෙලා තියෙනවා ගිය පාරත් exam එකේ 2020 paper එකේ. අපි බැලුවා paper class එකේදී. හරි? එතකොට මේ දෙකටම එන්න ඕන එක නමක්. S medium. For both you need to have same name. So refer to the 2020 and 19 papers. Then refresh. Now only one option can be selected, either English or Sinhala. Either English or Sinhala. Only one option can be selected. That's why we use single name for both. So by using a single name, we are grouping. We are grouping them. So logically, we are grouping them. Okay, that's it. And let me write a PHP code and show the magic. So I have not saved. I have saved the file as db/index.html. So let me write a PHP code. So when I write a PHP code here, say write in echo hello. Let's write echo hello semicolon, saving. When I refresh, you can see, still you cannot see that. When you right click and go to view page source, you can see PHP code here, right? That is ugly. Should not be like that because PHP is a server-side language. So if you view the source, you can see the PHP code is a bad habit. So why? What's the reason? The reason is you have not saved the file as PHP. So let me save the file as PHP now. I'm going to save this as index.php. Just save it. So now there are two files, index.html and index.php. Which will be loaded? HTML or PHP? What do you think? Preference will be given according to the server settings. Still, we cannot see which one is loaded, but let's right click and go to the view page source. And you can clearly see it's HTML file. That's why you can see this. Okay, so let me erase, because HTML will be given the priority. Let me erase that. I'm going to access my MAM folder again, and I'm going to shift delete the. Let's go to the DB, and I'm going to shift delete this HTML. If you don't have the HTML file, then your PHP file will be loaded. Both looks like same, but you can see the hello message. You can see hello message. It came from the PHP. Let me right click, go to view page source. Now you cannot see any PHP tags here. Only hello, just hello. No PHP tags, nothing is there. Just the message. So that is why you have to save any PHP included document with the PHP extension, right? So these are questions, but you don't want to buy hard and write a note regarding this. Practice it. Practice it. That's what you need to do. Okay, that's it. So let's write. Let's go and let me write now. Let me add another controller. I'm going to add a button. Input type submit this time. Input type submit, and the value I'm going to add value is add. Add in another button, input type reset, and value is clear. Save this, refresh. Now you can see the add button, which will navigate to add subject.php. Currently, the file is not there. We have not added the file, and you can see the URL is generated sname equals something. And if you mark the subject as, let's say, music and singular medium, let's add it, and you can see question mark sname equal music and medium equals singular. It's passing to the URL, but still the file is not there. That's why you are getting this error, not found. Okay, now you can see the clear will help you clear things. Clear will clear out the. These are default 2 buttons. Already actions are assigned to them. But you know, there is another one which is input type button. And let's add hello. And buttons will do nothing. Buttons are general purpose. You can see hello is doing nothing. But submit button will submit the form. Reset button will clear the form. The reset again clear, submit again submit, nikam button wali api kiyanakam mukut wenne naha. We have to tell something. Either using JavaScript or some other mechanism, we have to tell how this normal button behaves. And button can be added in another way also, that is using the HTML5 button tag. Button, let's say my button. For my HTML5 button. This is another way of adding a button. Right? That will also looks like same, right? The appearance is same. But that is HTML5 button, and it is acting as a submit button. You can see it's acting as a submit button. Okay, now you know 4 ways of adding buttons: submit button, reset button, nikam button, and HTML5 style button. Nikam button, right? These are the 4 ways of adding buttons. Okay, you don't need all these buttons, you need only 2 buttons. So I'm commenting this out. Why I'm commenting? Because the code is with you. You can see that, still see the code, but it won't work since I have commented. Code is there, but it won't work since I have commented. Up to now, do you have any doubts, any unclear points? Anything need to be explained again? You can ask it. Yes. Unclear, නොතේරුණු ආය කියලා දෙන්න ඕන මොනවා හරි තියෙනවා. මෙතනට එනකම්. ඔයගලන්ට අහන්න පුළුවන් දැන්. Okay, silent indicates either you didn't understand anything or you have no questions at all. I believe it's second one, right? You understood everything and you have no questions. Is it, Senali? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good. So let's proceed. So if you cannot understand, ask, right? That is for you, because so I'm doing this just so you know that I'm just doing this for leisure time, actually, but I'm taking my responsibility. So I'm not full-time A-level ICT teacher, but I was there full-time in A-level ICT project when it was started in initial level in year 2011 even. And I was supporting students full-time. That is also true. But I don't want to fall into the tuition master category related to A-level ICT, because I don't want to brand myself as A-level ICT teacher. Because I know that what I'm doing my best. I'm not telling that I'm doing better than the others, but I will do my best because I do my practicals. I'll show the practical stuff. I'll try to give the practical knowledge to students, so my students will never fail. Even okay, let's think that අර නිකන් මොකක් හරි නිකන් කරුමේ කියන එක උපරිමේම තිබිලා මොකක් හරි එහෙම ෆේල් වෙලාම නැහැ දැනට. නිකන් කරුමේ කියන එක උපරිමේම තිබිලා මොනවා හරි වෙලා ෆේල් වුණා කියන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ පේපර් එක වෙනුවට නිකන් ඒ දවසේ විභාගයේ දවසේ පිස්සු හැදිලා වගේ ගිහිල්ලා වෙන එකක් ලියලා. එහෙම ඇරෙන්න ෆේල් වෙන්න විදියක් නැහැ. කොහොමත් ෆේල් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හිතන්නවත් එපා. වෙලාම නැහැ හිස්ටරි එකේ. ඔය අවුරුදු 2011 ඉඳන් පටන් ගත්ත අවුරුදු 10 හිස්ටරි එකටම වෙලා. එහෙම එකක්. හැබැයි එහෙම වුණාම කියලා හිතමු. ඒත් ඔයාලා ලයිෆ් එක ෆේල් වෙන්නේ නැති වෙන්න තමයි මම හිතන්නේ. මොකද ඔයාලා මේ වීඩියෝස් ටික ආපහු මුලින් ඉඳන් බැලුවොත්, if you watch these videos again and again from the beginning, you know that. So because I was working with East of Metro Campus for 10 years as a manager as well as a senior lecturer. So in East of there are a few courses. One is web engineering. So you don't want to do web engineering because it is covered in A-level syllabus. Another one is software engineering. You don't want to do the software engineering course because we have already covered it in A-level ICT. There's a networking and hardware course. Most of the stuffs in networking and hardware course covered in this. And there's a course called Fundamentals of ICT, or the DTech. So almost all the things in the DTech we have covered in A-level ICT syllabus. So if you are doing these courses in a place like ESOP, it will cost you more than 200,000 to get this knowledge. But since you are coming to A-level class, you got A-level ICT knowledge for your examination, and as an additional benefit, you have received more than 200,000 worth package. Actually speaking, your knowledge is closer enough with BIT first year student. It's not perfectly matching with BIT, Bachelor of Information Technology, Columbia University first year students' knowledge. Not perfectly, but 80% of the stuff that you have done related to BIT, Bachelor of Information Technology, General IT degree of Columbia University first year. So when you go to the university, මම මේ කිව්වා කියන එක මතක තියාගන්න. ජනවාරි 1 වෙනිදා 2022 කිව්වේ. මෙහෙම එකක්. යුනිවර්සිටි පළවෙනි අවුරුද්ද යනකොට මතක් කරගන්න මෙහෙම මිනිස්සෙක් අපිට කිව්වනේ. මේවා නිකන් යුනිවර්සිටි එකේ ෆස්ට් ඉයර් මට්ටමටම අපිට තියෙනවා කියන. එතකොට ඇත්තද බොරුද කියලා මතක් කරලා ඒ වෙලාවට මතක් වුණොත් පොඩක් මේ යුනිවර්සිටි ගිහිල්ලා ඉවරලා හවසට කෝල් එකක් දීලා කියන්න මේ සර් මේවා තිබ්බා කියලා. Because I know that, so because I'm teaching for London Metropolitan University degree, I'm teaching for BIT Columbia University degree, BIT Morato degree. So I know that most of the stuff that we have covered under this syllabus are also there in the degree first year, second year, some subjects, first year, some subjects, it's already there. So your knowledge is not a waste. This is a really good investment if you have done, because you will get A-level, you will go through the A-levels, as well as you will get additional knowledge about ICT, and it is not a waste, right? If government gave that NVQ qualification, unfortunately, I think now it's not giving. I'm not sure whether it's giving or not. If government decided to give that NVQ qualification to you, එහෙම එකක් තිබ්බා government එකේ NVQ qualification එකක් දෙන්න IT techno කරන ළමයින්ට. ඒක එහෙම දුන්නා නම් you can immediately start your job also. ඒක නැතත් ඔයාලට ඉතින් private institution එකක university එනකන් job එකක් කරන්න ඕන knowledge එකක් ලැබිලා තියෙනවා. University එනකන් අවුරුද්දක් විතර පුළුවන් නම් work කරන්න. So that will be additional experience and a benefit. So plan for that as well. So now do more things, right? අවුරුදු 24 වෙද්දී qualify වෙලා ඉවර වෙලා job එක sure තියාගන්න වැඩ කරගන්න. අවුරුදු 24 ඉඳන් අඩු ගන්න අවුරුදු 30 වෙනකන්වත් ජොලියේ ඉන්න එපා නේද? දැන් තියෙන ප්‍රශ්නේ තමයි when especially if you are a girl, may in according to our culture the people will ask you whether you are not going to marry or something when you are like when you are passing your 25 26 people will ask are you going to marry or not. Likewise different problems, even your home environment will give that kind of impression. So then if you graduate by 24 years, then you have only 2 years to enjoy your life. So don't think it's easy to enjoy the life after marriage. Yeah, that is possible. I'm not telling that is not possible. That is possible, but that is like අර කියලා කියන්නේ කන කැස් බෑව විය සිදුරෙන් අහස බලනවා වගේ කියන්නේ. අන්න එහෙම තමයි මැරේජ් ලයිෆ් එකේ තමන්ට ඕන දේ කරලා එන්ජොයි කරන්න පුළුවන් ප්‍රමාණය. ඒක ගොඩාක් වෙලාවට තියෙන්නේ අනිත් අය වෙනුවෙන් කැප කරලා එන්ජොයි කරන්න. You have to sacrifice your life for some others, maybe your husband or maybe your wife or maybe your kids. You have to sacrifice your life and enjoy. Not for you, for others. So that is collective happiness. So that is there in the family life. That is not there in individual single life. That's there in the family life. That is called collective happiness. It is very, very, very difficult to make someone happy. තව කෙනෙක්ව සතුටින් තියලා එහෙම කරනවා කියන එක ඒක මාර අමාරු වැඩක්. I'm telling this by experience, right? So therefore, try to be qualified in your young age and try to get good exposure to the working environment. Because that time will never come. ආය ඔය ජීවිතේ ඔය කාලේ එන්නේ නැහැ. එහෙනම් ඒ කාලේ උපරිමයෙන්ම ගන්න ඕගොල්ලෝ වෙනුවෙන් තියාගන්න එක. ඒක 100%ක්ම এডুকেෂන් වලින් කප කරලා මේව කරන්න යන්නත් එපා. මොකද ලයිෆ් එකේ පීරියඩ්ස් තුනක් තියෙනවා. The first period in the life we call you have freedom and you have energy, but you don't have money to enjoy the life. You don't have your own money. You have to ask from parents නේ. කැමති දේවල් තියෙනවා, නිදහසක් තියෙනවාට, ශක්තියක් තියෙනවා, but the thing is you don't have your own money to enjoy that. Okay, then comes the second period. Then you have money, you are earning and you are energetic, you have money, but since you are working, you don't have time. ඒ තමයි second period එක. වැඩ කරන හින්දා වෙලාව නැහැ. ඒ හින්දා සල්ලිත් තියෙනවා, එනර්ජි එකක් තියෙනවා, හැබැයි වෙලාව නැහැ. The third spell in your life, that is your latter part of the life. In that part, you will have money, you will have time. වෙලාවක් තියෙයි, සල්ලිත් තියෙයි. හැබැයි එනර්ජි එකක් නැහැ enjoy කරන්න. Then you have to die like that. ගොඩක් මිනිස්සු මැරෙන්නේ ඔහොම. ඔය period තුන පවු කරලා මැරලා යනවා. ඒ හින්දා මම ඇත්තටම මගේ job එකෙන් pension ගිහිල්ලා ඉන්නේ නැහැ. Right. ඔයගොල්ලෝ බලන්න ඇති. එතකොට මට කොච්චර වයසද? මට මහ ලොකු වයසක් නැහැ. ඔයගොල්ලන්ට වැඩි ඉතින් මම හිතන්නේ 10කට වැඩි තියෙනවා. 10 15ක් විතර වැඩි ඇති. හැබැයි මම මගේ ජොබ් එකෙන් පෙන්ෂන් ගියේ. ඒකට හේතුව ඔය රීසන් එකම තමයි. ඔය රීසන් එකම තමයි. මොකද in my childhood I had freedom, I had energy, but I didn't have enough wealth. I didn't have money to enjoy the life. In my young age, I was really earning well as a senior lecturer and manager, but I didn't have time to enjoy my life. So I was really upset about that. I know that next period which is going to come is after my pension period. Pension ගත්තට පස්සේ තමයි ඉතුරු ටික එන්නේ. එතකොට මට සල්ලි තියෙයි. එනර්ජි තමයි නැත්තේ කියන එක මම දැනගත්ත හැටියෙම මම තීරණය කරා කලින් pension ගන්නවා කියලා. So I decided to leave my job by 34. 34 වෙද්දි මම තීරණය කරා දැන් මම pension ගන්නවා. So that's how I changed my life. I really enjoy my life. Now I have the collective enjoyment since I have a family. I have to think about collective enjoyment, but still I do personal things related to my own hobbies. One hobby is music. I'm doing lyrics writing, singing, music creation, all these things. One hobby is photography, and I'm doing that as well. One hobby is traveling, and I'm doing that as well. So as a collective hobby. So that's what I gained in my age. I know that it is rare chance. So I like if you can also do the same in your young age. I started my job in when I was 21 years old. That time I was in the university also. And when I was 20 years, yes, when I was 20 years old, I started my job, first job. Okay, go back to the lesson. I'm telling this for your life because that is also one part. The subject එක syllabus එක exam විතරක්ම නෙවෙයි ජීවිතේ කියන්නේ. Life is also a critical part. So you have to, I need to share my experience with you so you will not fall. So in my, as my young generation, you will not fall into the traps that is already, actually I fall into some traps. So early marriage trap, so I fall into that. Then government job trap, I fall into that as well. Government job එකක් කරන්න ඕනේ, ඒකටත් මම දෙපාරක් අහු වුණා. ඊළඟට early marriage කියන එක, early marriage කියන්නේ ගොඩක් early නෙමෙයි. When I was like 25, 26 years old, my parents want to settle, and I did that as well. Actually, so that is the thing. So ඒ traps වලට අහු වෙන්න එපා. ඒවට අහු වෙන්නේ නැතුව government job කියන්නේ marriage එක වගේම තමයි. කරලා බලන්න ඕනේ. ඒ වගේම තමයි. වෙනසක් නැහැ. Job එක බැඳගත්තා වගේ තමයි. Okay, so now we have two buttons and we are going to insert that into the database. So I need a PHP table, PHP file to do that. So I'm having a new file. I'm going to save this file as, can you remember the name that I have given? It is add subject, as I remember. Okay, let's go to the folder, application, htdocs, db, add subject.php. Saving. Let's try to add. Oh, it's add subject.php. File save as add subject.php. Be careful with naming, otherwise it will give an error. Add in, and you can see it's empty, means working. The file is there. Now I need to add these things. PHP. I'm going to echo. What I'm going to echo? Oh yes. Let's use print. Echo is also echo. Print array. Print R. I'm going to echo or print R the $_get. Because I'm using the get query, I'm printing this, and you can see it's printing S name. When I select the medium and subject music and enter, you can see the S name music S medium English. So if you need nicely formatted one, you can echo a pre-formatted text. Without a lesson, the spaces HTML pre-formatted text tag to show the spaces and all. Otherwise, it will be ignored by the browser. Refreshing back, and you can see nicely formatted array. That is S name and S medium. Okay, now the first thing is I got the form. I'll send this to you. The second thing is I have the PHP file. To speed up this session, I'm sending you both files. Please download and place this in your computer relevant folder. Otherwise, it will take some more time to us to discuss about the other part, right? Therefore, I'm sharing these two files with you. MAM folder, htdocs, db. And subject and index.php is the form file. The second file that I'm going to share is at subject.php. Okay, so now please start editing with me. Here, the first thing that I want to do is connect to my database. $connection, I'm creating a connection. $connection, MySQL I connect. Then I have to give the database server local host, or the local server is my server. Then the database username root. Mostly in your computers, you don't have password. Password is empty. You have to give like this. MySQL connect or die. In case of failure, you have to display a message cannot connect to the server. So that is the error message that you are going to display. Save this, refresh, and you can see cannot connect to the server. You are getting that error. A wonderful, nice error. Cannot connect to the server. Because I said that in your computer, this will work because your computer, local host is the server name, root is the username, and empty password will be accepted. In my computer, the password is also root. So I have to give that, then only it will display this. Now, no errors. So that is the only error, right? So when I have the empty password, you can see it's not connecting. When I give the password, it's connecting. But I promise you that in your computer, the password will not be the same. Password won't be the same. So be careful with this part, the highlighted part. Tell me whether you are getting this or you are getting any error. Then I can help you. Because this time I need to help you. The first part is connecting with the database. That is done. Are you okay? Or you need any? If you need any help, please let me know. Okay, I hope you are done, right? If any errors, please let me know, then I can help you. The connection, after successful connection, the next thing is selecting your database in appropriate way. So let's refer to a variable $db. Select the appropriate DB. So that is $db, and you have to select that database name. Okay, so then MySQL, the statement is MySQL, so function is MySQL I select DB. Select underscore DB. Then you have to give the database name. So what is the database name? In our case, it's DB school. Okay, in my case, it's DB school. I'm going to give that DB school. In your case, it might be different name. And also you have to give the connection that you have to give before $connection. That is your connection variable. Here, this connection variable you have to mention. Using this connection, try to connect this database. And if not, please give error cannot connect the database. Die means stop the program by giving this error. Understand? Die කියන්නේ මැරෙන්න කියන එකම තමයි. Stop the program by displaying this error. මොකද මෙතන එහාට ගිහිල්ලා වැඩක් නැහැ. server එකට connect වෙන්නේ නැත්නම් මෙතන එහාට තියෙන කිසිම code එකක් වැඩක් නැහැ. database එක select වෙන්නේ නැත්නම් එතනින් එහාට කිසිම code එකක් වැඩක් නැහැ. That's why we are going to die. Stop the program, kill the program, because we don't want to execute that anymore. We are going to stop that. Okay. No errors. I'm happy. Means everything perfectly happened. No errors means something to be happy. DB selected. Okay, let's try to get some details from the database. Dollar query. I'm going to select all from TBL subject. Okay, I'm going to execute that query dollar and save the result into dollar result variable equal MySQL I underscore query dollar connection. Use the connection and execute dollar query using that. Okay. While dollar row equal MySQL I fetch so dollar results. I'm going to echo or print R, let's say print R dollar row. Save it, refresh it, refresh. Nothing is there. Anything wrong? MySQL fetch as so dollar result. MySQL dollar query. Say if dollar result equal yes. Let's run it and see. No yes, yes එකක් එන්නේ. yes එකක් එන්නේ කියන්නේ මේක වැඩ කරනවා. MySQL query dollar query. Select all from the previous subject. That is okay. TBL subject, is it there? TBL subject, yeah, it's there. Should work. MySQL query dollar connection dollar query. Okay, it seems working. Yeah. Is there anything else? Anything else? Select all from TBL subject. Hiyo. So one letter. Okay, you're getting all these things. Now you're getting the results. Ugly results. You need beautiful results. Then you need the pre-formatted text. Just cutting this and pasting here. Cutting and pasting here. Now you have beautiful results. Okay. You're getting all the subjects in here. So this is how you select from the table. Let's do that quickly. You don't need the get one now. You just want to print the results. And if you want to print the results nicely, don't use print R. Let's use a table. So let's use a HTML table. You can echo HTML table. Table with table border samanai ekai board එකක් වෙච්ච table එකක් අපි දාමු. ඊට පස්සේ table එකට පස්සේ row එකක් එන්න ඕන. මෙතන අපි row එකක් දාගමු. table row. ඒ row එක ඇතුලේ තියෙන්න ඕන එතකොට මේවා table data equal table data inside table data තියෙන්න ඕන concatenate කරා dollar row එකේ තියෙන id එක ඒකත් එක්ක ආයි concatenate කරන්න ඕන table data එක close කරලා ඒකත් එක්ක ආයි concatenate කරන්න ඕන අලුත් table data එක ඒ අලුත් table data එකේත් ආයෙත් ඔය වගේ වෙනවා id එකට පස්සේ එන්නේ මොකද්ද after id s name after s name it is s medium හරි ඔතනින් table data එක ඉවර වෙනවා after finishing table data here you have to close the table row within a row එක after finishing the table row you have to finish the table if anything unclear please ask I know this is little bit faster than the previous days because I just want to finish at least you can see yes that years comes this years is not needed now id is not there what is the id is it id or no sid sorry it's my mistakes it's sid save now you can see all these things and better have headings so let's have headings here table row under that table heading say student id subject id close in the table data start in another one subject close in that table data start in another one better th table heading th will be automatically center and bold so let's use th and this is medium and th is closed then the table row is closed okay table tr start td th tr close okay sir. Now you have headings okay so table should be easy to read now you can think of adding more css නේ තව ඉගෙන ගත්තේ ඔක්කොම තියෙනවනේ ඔක්කොම ඕනනම් පළවෙනිද මේ පාවෙ දන්නේ අවුරුද්ද ඔක්කොම දාන්න ගිහින් අපි දාමු නිකමට මේ ලස්සනට heading වලට පොඩි කලර් එකක් වගේ මේ row එකට නේද style මේ ඔක්කොම දාන්න පුළුවන් BACKGROUND background dash COLOR red green blue red green blue something wrong TR style STYLE BACKGROUND background color red green and blue yeah okay other headings border one let's use cell space into 0 no need to have space between cells okay and cell space in 0 let's have cell padding cell padding of 5 pixels some space okay I need to add I need to make it dynamic but I ලස්සන වෙන්න ඕන එකක් කර එකක් ඔයාලා දැකලා ඇතර table වල එහෙම excel වල table වල එකක් කරගන්න යම් පාට වෙන්නේ ලා පාට ඒ වගේ නිකන් මට පොඩ්ඩක් dynamic කරගන්න හිතෙනවා ජොලියට වගේ එහෙම කරන්න ඕන නම් මම මේ වගේ දැන් මම දන්න PHP පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන් $count කියන එකයි මෙතනදි මම කියනවා okay ඊ ඔත්තේදී රට්ටේද කියලා ගන්න යන්නේ හරි මම කියන if dollar count modulus 2 දෙකෙන් බෙදුනම ඉතිරි වෙන්නේ එකක් නම් ඒ කියන්නේ ඔත්තේ නම් එහෙමනම් මම දාගන්නවා අලුත් variable එකක් ඩොලර් මෙතන දාගමු එක කලින්ම ඩොලර් bc background color එකට මම දාගන්නවා value එකක් hash අපි දාමු මේ වගේ color එකක් හරි එතකොට මම color එක වෙනස් කරගන්නවා ඔත්තේ නම් color එක වෙනස් කරනවා ඉරට්ටේ නම් ඔය තිබ් එක තියෙනවා ඔත්තේ නම් මම කියනවා මේකේ background color එක පොඩ්ඩක් මේකේ red ගතිය වැඩි කරන්න red එක දාන්නම් e වලට වගේ ඔය හොඳයි e වලට වගේ red එක දාන්න නැත්තම් මේ පාටෙන් තිබ්බා එතකොට ඔත්තේ නම් තමයි මෙහෙම වෙන්නේ ඉරට්ටේ නම් මේ පාට තියෙනවා ඔත්තේ දෙකෙන් බෙදලා එකක් ඉතුරු වෙන ඒවා තමයි ඔහොම තියෙන්නේ හැම වෙලෙම මම මේ while එක ඇතුලේ මේක count එක වැඩි කරන්න ඕනේ නැත්නම් ඊළඟ නම්බර එකට යන්නේ count count plus equal 1 එකකින් වැඩි කරන්න දැන් row ගාන count වෙලා ඕනනම් අන්තිමට count එකත් print කරන්න පුළුවන් table එකෙන් පස්සේ ඕනනම් ඒක දාගන්නත් පුළුවන් after table you can say echo how many records කියන එක $count dot records කියලා නිකන් පෙන්නන්න ලස්සන ජොලියට පෙරදුනා so what is wrong $count is this one and bc is this one if count modulus 2 so what is wrong with that something wrong here count modulus count is 1 that is okay something wrong here or here or here here sorry semicolon missing okay now you can see 8 records අටක් තිබ්බද ඇත්තටම 1 2 3 නෑනේ මේක එකෙන් පටන් ගත්තේ ඉන්නේ 8ක් ආ බින්දුවෙන් පටන් ගත්තා 7 records you can see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 records so that can also be displayed අර decoration එක තාම දැම්මේ නෑනේ decoration එක දා ගන්න ඕනේ මෙතනට මේ row එකට මේකේ දාමු style සමානයි BACKGROUND colon දැන් මෙතනට තමයි දාන්න ඕනේ background color එකට දාන්න ඕනේ මෙයා BC save see that oh ඒ මොකද මෙයාට එකෙන් දෙකෙන් බෙදලා එකක් ඉතුරු නම් මේක එතකොට යා තමයි මෙතන එකකින් වැඩි කරන්නත් බැහැ count equal count plus 1 ඒකත් වැඩි වෙලානේ 7යි කියලා තියෙන්නේ දෙකෙන් බෙදලා එකක් ඉතුරු නම් මේක else එකක් දෙන්න else you have to tell the BC is this පරණ කලර් එකම තියාගන්න කියලා save that refresh and you can see it's interchanging the color these colors are not good you can select your own nice colors and do that I think you can enjoy this so always try to enjoy your work පුතේ හරි මම කරන එක සමහරට ඔයාලට බෝරින් වෙන්නත් ඉඩ තියෙනවා මම මේ කරන්නේ ඕගොල්ලන්ට පරණේ වායේ මතක් වෙලා පොඩ්ඩක් මෙයා ආස හිතෙන්න පොඩ් කරන්න හරි දැන් මෙහෙම එකක් විභාගෙදී අහන්නේ නැහනේ 100% ෂුවර් අහන්නේ මේ ඩේටාබේස් වි දෙකම එකතු කරලා අහන්නේ දැන් මට දැන් වෙන ගුරුවරයෙක් එම A level ICT ඉන්නවනේ මේ පොද රැකියාවට මේ level ICT උගන්වන ටීචර්ස්ලා ඉන්නවනේ එහෙම කෙනෙක් එම වීඩියෝ එක දැක්කොත් හරි බැලුවොත් ඒක බණිනවා ඕවා මේ A level තමයි මොනවද උගන්වන්නේ වැඩක් නැහැ නිකන් බොරුවට බොරු පුරවගෙන ඕවා කියලා ලියන්න දෙයක්වත් නැහැ ඒක ඇත්ත ඉතින් පුරව ගන්න දෙයක් නැහැ හැබැයි මේ මම කියලා දෙන්නේ ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ IT knowledge එක මිසක් A level කරන්න නෙවෙයි මොකද A level කියන්නේ එක සබ්ජෙක්ට් එක විභාගයක් ඕක කරාට පස්සේ ඉවරයි. හැබැයි ඕගොල්ලෝ ජීවත් වෙන්න බෑ A level කරලා තව අවුරුදු 40ක් 50ක් ජීවත් වෙන්න බෑ කැමති උනත් නැති. You need this knowledge for living. That's why. So you know what Einstein has said. So here, so this expression, remember this. This is really important. Einstein about education. So this is what I'm doing. I'm giving you, right? I'm trying to give you. මම දන්නේ නැහැ ඔයගොල්ලෝ ගන්නවද කියලා. මේක තමයි මම මේ අයින්ස්ටයින් කියප එක තමයි ඔයාලට දෙන්න හදන්නේ. Right? This is education is not learning facts, but training the mind to think. There is one thing. Right? Then some another thing. Here, education is the biggest barrier in my learning. So another time he's telling like that. And another thing that he is telling, education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in the school. In school ඉගෙන ගත්තේම අමතක වුණාට පස්සේ Taman ළඟ ඉතිරි වෙන දේවල්. ඔය A level කරලා ඉවරලා ඔක අමතක කරලා දාන්න. පස්සේ දවසේම අමතක කරලා දාන්න. ඊට පස්සේ ඔයාලගේ ඉතුරු වෙන දේවල් තමයි ඔයාලට ජීවත් වෙන්න වැදගත් වෙන්නේ. For doing a job, to day-to-day tasks, you need that skill. So this is for your education, right? The real education, not for the syllabus education. For syllabus education, you don't need this. You need only, I mean, make syllabus education. Make on මේ විදිහට මේ rows වල display කරන්න එක ඕනේ. ඒක ඇතුලේ if else ඒවා මොකුත් ඕනේ. Just the row. But try to enjoy your education while learning. So that's why I'm giving this. So if you don't like this colors, change it. You know how to change the colors. No?
So font color එක වෙනස් කරන්න බෑ.
Oh, font color වෙනස් කරන්න බෑ. මතක නැද්ද CSS? කොහමද CSS font color? එතකොට font color වෙනස් කරන්න මෙතන දාගන්න මේකට පස්සේ semicolon එකක් දාලා color කියලා white දාගන්න ඕනේ. white වගේ. නැත්නම් code එකෙන් දෙන්න #FFF. short code නම් F3ක් දෙන්න. long code නම් F5ක්. Then it's be white color. You need to interchange the font color. මාරුවෙන් මාරුවට දාගන්න ඕනේ. එහෙමනම් ඉතින් මේ වගේ variable එකක් තියාගෙන you can maintain and change. මෙන්න මෙතනට දාලා change කරන්න. එහෙමත් කරන්න පුළුවන්. හරි මෙතනට දාලා change කරන්න. මෙතනට දාගන්න quotation දෙකක්. dot දෙකක් දාගෙන concatenate කරන්න font color. එතකොට තව variable එකක් වුණ FC හරි mark කරේ හදාගන්න font color එකට. Let's say #FF one එකක white color දියමු. අනිත් එකේ font color එක තියමු තව mark කරේ. Let's put some other color. Black තියමු. black නැතුව gray වගේ. 4. So let's say you can that will be applied to the font. Oh, it's something wrong. Should come FC here. ඉතින් තාම බලන්න ඔයාලට මේ errors එයි. එතකොට බලන්න අකුරෙන් අකුර check කරන්න. හරිනේ ඔය වගේ change කරගන්න පුළුවන්. You need to change the font. Anything you can change. So now you have 3 languages here: MySQL, PHP, and CSS. Everything together. You have created this wonderful. Actually, this is not the intention, right? මේ අපි පටන් ගත්තේ මොකක් කරන්නද? insert එකටනේ. මේ ඇත්තටම මම select එක කරේ. Don't worry, I'll do the insert part also. Insert into table. That one also I'll do. I think it's your time now. I'll give you some time to self practice. Maybe 5 minutes. Take your time. Practice. So try to get the basics, right? So don't try to add this if else and make it complex in the beginning. මේවා නැතුව කරමු. මෙච්චර complex කරගන්න යන්න එපා මුලින්ම. එතකොට නිකන් අච්චාරු වෙනවනේ. මේ ටිකක් දාගත්තත් කමන්නේ. font color එකකුත් මෙතනටත් මම දාලා දෙන්නම්. if else part එක ඕනේ. මේ ටික පොඩ්ඩකට comment කරන්න. Okay, I'll use this commenting. There's a shortcut for commenting. Maybe. I don't remember what. Okay, let's use. You can use multi-line comments also. That's true. මම මේ කමෙන්ට් කරන පාර්ට් එක ඕන වෙන්නේ අර කලර්ස් දෙක මාරු කර කර දෙන්න. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඒක ඕනේ නැහැ මේ කවුන්ට් පාර්ට් එක ඒව ඕන ඒ කේස් එක. මම දැනට මේක එක කලයකින් යන්න නිකන් දාලා තියෙනවා. So you don't have interchanging part, just having one color. So මේකෙත් මේ බෙද බෙදා දීලා තියෙන්නේ ඒවට. ඇයි කියලා තේරුම් ගන්න concatenate කරනකොට තමයි quotation එකකින් ඉවර කරලා dot දාලා variable එක දාලා dot දාලා ආයෙ ඉතුරු ටික continue කරනවා. ඇත්තටම තනි එකක් තියෙද්දි මේක දිගටම ලියන් යන්න පුළුවන් මේක. මේකට variable එකක් add කරන්න ඕන නම් තමයි dot දාලා ඒක concatenate කරන්නේ. Just adding that variable into in between. Okay, try it now. Just self practice now. I'll then give the insertion part. I'll give you 5 minutes just to practice. Okay, I'll send this file as well. Then you can just go through the file and study this. In case if you miss some instruction, just go through the file again. Like subject.php. Okay, I have sent that file also. So the next thing is insert in the record. So that is not difficult. Only thing is like now you got the data from that table here. From that, from that form, you got all the data to this page. Now the thing is you have to insert this. Since we are going to insert, let me comment this part. Let me comment this part. Okay. Here to here. Sorry. Here to here. Commenting here to here. Then starting from this place, going to comment again up to this place. So everything is temporarily removed by commenting. So nothing will be displayed here. So now the inserting part, you saw that the variables are there. Oh, let me print R again, print underscore R. I'm going to get $_get from the previous page. So I'm getting that S name and S medium. Now I have to insert that to the table. So I have to write the query, $query, let's say $Q2 equal insert into same as given, right? Insert into TBL subject, and you have to give the field names. Field names are S name and S medium, as I remember. So let's go to the S name, S medium, correct? S name, S medium, and the values. You have to give the values in the brackets. So there are different ways of doing that. So one is keep a placeholder and add the value later, and the second one is concatenation. So in your syllabus, it doesn't matter. You can concatenate that value here by getting data from the GET request. Whatever the data printed here, whatever the data values and the data field names given here, you can concatenate. But that is dangerous, as so your website is vulnerable for SQL injection attack. So actually that is coming under security. Why? Because you can see the data here. If you see the data here, that data is directly inserted into the database, means the hackers can try to insert into the URL whatever the data that they wish, they try to insert that into the database by entering through the URL. So that will ultimately vanish our database. Or hackers can easily hack our database and plant the codes that they need. So that is why concatenation is dangerous. So let me show this example. The values are, you know, the values, there are two values. So value number one is $_get. That is what $_ get is that this is name, and the next one is $underscore get s medium. So if users are honest, then this is okay. If there are honest users, then this will be okay, because you are trying to enter this. And let me print the query, echo the query, echo $q2, saving and refreshing. You can see insert into table subject, and values will be music and English. But in case if someone is trying to hack the database, they might try to insert some unwanted values, like let's say H1, or let's say mark you. So mark you English. So you can see, now what will happen? Your English insert into, okay, you can see. So that is the result. Okay, because through this, because input sanitization was not there, I'm just concatenating this. Whatever the user is typing is added to the code, and then the code will be altered according to that. So think that this is going to database. So when it is going to database, what will happen? This change will be permanently written into the database. That is too dangerous, right? This code will be permanently written into the database. Then when somebody call that select query, then this animation will work in the select query also. The entire page will behave according to the hackers instructions, because hackers can directly insert data into the database. So that is dangerous. So one method is you can avoid this by using posting. Right? If you use post, you can avoid this up to some extent. Why? Because in the posting also, you can post these things, right? You can post H1, you can post something, and when you add, it will go to the database. You can see here. Even methading post again. So that is the dangerousness of this. But for the moment, I'll assume that there's innocent user. That innocent user is never trying to hack the database. So I'm concatenating. Even though this is dangerous, I'm just concatenating without any input sanitization. But when you are doing real web engineering or web related programming, you will need to know about the input sanitization. So to avoid user malicious data from the users. So you have to think about that input sanitization part too. Okay, for the moment, forget about this. For the moment, forget about this. And what I'm going to do, so I'm going to write this to the database now. Okay, then so here the query, and this is how I'm going to execute the query. Result MySQL query, and $q will be here. So that data will be inserted, and you can check that if $res, and you can say echo successfully added. Okay, with that, I think I can stop for today. Let's do that. I'm going to add a subject music and singular medium. Let's add it. And no message. No message. I'm not sure whether I have inserted properly or not. So let's go to the database and see that. Going to browse and no, data not inserted. Something wrong here. Data not inserted. So let's see what has happened. I'm going to echo the query again. Echo $q2. Here q. That's one mistake. Should be q2. Let's try again now. Refresh. Successfully added. Let's go to the database. you can see on the table subject, music Sinhala is added as 8th column. Now what you can do is you can display that data. If I remove this part, after adding, it will display data in the same page. Do we have any other comment? Anywhere? Yes, here. Okay, after adding, you can see. So let's add another one. Let's say music, same music, English medium, I'm adding. And you can see that is displayed here. Right? That is displayed here. Successfully added. And now there are 8 rows. There are 8 rows. So data added, and when I refresh, you can see there are 9. Right? There are 9. Okay, there is another error, another bug in this code here. The empty records can be added. That is a bug. How can we correct this? Because if you refresh this or reload this, an empty record will be added, because this should happen only in case of insertion. So you can filter this out and tell that insertion should be done only if there is a real insertion. Otherwise, no need to insert something. That can be done here. Here, yeah. If I can include that, if is set $_get s name, if we set this, then only you need to think about the data insertion. Otherwise, what will happen? The empty data will be inserted. That means if someone submitted this name, then only the insertion should happen. Okay, now you can see 9 records. Insertion is not happening. 9 records, insertion not happening. So going back, add in another subject. And this time let's add art, English medium, add. Now you can see the record added. And when you refresh, go back, you can see art is there. 10 records, 11 is the ID because we have deleted from the middle, right? After 9, 11 counts because we have deleted from the middle. 10th one we have deleted. Okay, with that I'll stop for today. So please copy this. Please take a screenshot of this. We have done insertion part, we have done selection part, we have 2 more, deleting and updating. And I'll do the Python related one also the next week. I'll give you the guidance and we can finish that chapter by next week, the practical part. Then we have the theory part. I think we can discuss that week after the next week.
So we did the delete part and the update part.
Yes, we did using SQL, right?
Yes.
But did we do that using the connection? PHP integrated one? No,
No.
that's what I said, right? Yes, we have to do the integrated one.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Then good night. See you all next week.
Good night, sir. Thank you.
Welcome.
Good night, sir. Thank you.
Good night.
Good.
Good night.